Let's see. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
How is everybody today?
Hi, Leanne.
Lisa, good morning. Amber, Sam, Shannon, hello, hello. Felicia, Jill, Lisa, hello, everybody. Hello, Melissa from Connecticut. Hello, ladies. Ashley, Mary, hi. Hi, Charity. Ashley, North Carolina. Hola, Bianca from South Florida. Good morning. Good morning. Doña Signor, North Carolina. Tina, my God, we have so many people here. So nice to see you all. Good morning from California. I was just thinking about you. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to say good morning from Florida, but it's cold Florida today. But California is having this heat. Crazy. I hope everybody is okay over there. Tennessee, Kimberly. Nice to see you all.
Tennessee, I'll be there next week, actually.
In California?
Tennessee.
Oh, in Tennessee? How exciting.
Yeah, go see
How
my husband's
nice.
family.
Oh, Lisa, it's 100 degrees today in LA.
100
Wow.
degrees. I'm not ready for that.
I'm not ready either. I'm like, yeah, I like this weather. It's cold. It's nice. That's the
Super
weather I like
sweater.
in South Florida. Yes.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking, I'm like, should I put my hoodie on or not? Because it was freezing this morning when I walked the dogs. It was very cold. Can you actually hear my dogs? And if you do, I apologize for that. Okay, good. I'm glad.
Can't hear anything.
Because I also have construction in the back. So if you hear any noise, my apologies to you guys. Okay, hi Shirley. Okay, so we better start this.
Alrighty.
You go, Miss Kristen.
All right. Let me just.
Very good.
Okay. I think I'm good. Can you guys
Okay.
see my screen?
Yeah, well, I can. Can you ladies see the screen? Hi, Jessica. Yes, yes.
Perfect.
Okay, awesome. So, welcome to our sensitive, sensitized, or stress webinar, identifying and treating every skin type with confidence. That's what we're going to be talking about today. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Tatiana Morales. I'm also in South Florida. I'm a licensed esthetician here. I specialize in sensitive skin and immunocompromised skin. I have been treating clients with cancer for 12 years, my whole career. And I have been with Helen Hash. Well, I know Chris since back then, and I have been an educator. We're going on 3 years now. I was looking at that today. So, I'm so glad to be here with you to talk about this sensitive skin and my passion, basically. Now, you, Miss Kristen.
Okay. I'm Kristen. I have been a licensed esthetician for over 8 years now. I'm a multi-certified acne specialist, and I also specialize in treating sensitive skin. I personally battle with acne and sensitive skin, so that's why I'm here at Hale and Hush. And I had a studio here in New Jersey, but we are moving to Washington State soon. So
I
literally next week. So
know.
yeah.
Best of luck to you.
Thank you. It's been pretty stressful. Thanks,
I
Shannon.
bet. I bet. Well, again, welcome. And what you will learn today, basically, or what we will be talking about, is to welcome to the March Helen Hash Professional Education class. Why am I reading? I don't know. I'm sorry. Uh, we are gonna this month. This is like a great subject to talk since this month is also focused in understanding and treating sensitive versus sensitized skin. And do you want to talk about, Kristen, our podcast?
Yeah, so if you guys haven't already, we have a podcast that just launched the beginning of this year, and it's on Spotify. It's called Hush Up and Listen. And our March episode is releasing on the 30th. So it's every last Monday of the month at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. So the next episode is going to be What is Sensitive Skin? We're going to have a guest on there. Her name is Kelly Conlon from Regenerate, and we actually have a bundle with them right now. So, yeah, that's going to be a great one to listen to, and it's all going to tie into today's presentation.
Awesome. So, yes, Kristen, you're going to tell us about defining the sensitive skin sensitivity. Sorry.
Yes, so when it comes to sensitivity, there is a difference between sensitive and sensitized skin. So, with sensitive skin, you are more genetically predisposed to reactivity and inflammation. So, a lot of times, these people or individuals have experienced a lot of sensitivity throughout their life. They're more reactive to things and they just have a lot more redness and inflammation than normal. But sensitized skin is really due to barrier damage or lifestyle factors. So it's a little bit more temporary as opposed to sensitive skin, which is more of an ongoing issue. And then you
Mm-hmm.
also have stressed skin. So there is environmental or emotional triggers that create a temporary imbalance with all of this.
Yes.
Is this on you, Tatiana?
No,
Oh, it's
that's you,
me.
my
Okay.
dear.
Sorry, I don't have my notes with me. So, root causes for skin sensitivity. So, the root causes can either be genetic, so there's a thinner epidermis, fewer lipids, hyperreactive nerve endings. Sometimes it can also be environmental, so things like UV exposure, summer's coming up, so you're going to see a lot of sunburned skin. Hopefully not. But also pollution can have an impact, weather changes as well. And you can experience sensitivity through internal things like stress. Stress is a huge one. I think we're all kind of
Hmm.
catching on onto the effects of stress. And then you also have diet, hormones, and then immune responses. Your lifestyle also has an effect too. So overuse of actives, harsh exfoliation, and even improper home care use.
Yes, for sure. And talking about the lifestyle and this stress, I was telling, I don't remember who it was. I don't know if it was, oh yeah, with Dr. Erin. I was telling her about a case that I have. She has a very bad, but is like the worst that I have seen in 12 years, of eczema. Like she couldn't move. She was so dry that she couldn't even like turn her head to me or talking. And she was so afraid for me to touch her because of her, sensitivity in her skin. And it was not only that, but it was a flare up because she's an attorney and this stress level that she had was just like unbelievable. And of course, that wasn't helping. And she was telling me that every time when she gets too much stress, she gets this flare up of the eczema. So it is definitely something that we need to be more aware of it. Okay. So now with the understanding with the immune connection, what happens is um, our skin basically, it's our biggest organ, and it is always there to protect us. So when it's an overreaction of something, or trying to letting us know that something is wrong, is when we get the inflammation. Okay. So what triggers it? The histamine release, the mast cell activation, when it says, like something is going on, what is wrong? Let's go, let's do something. Because the cytokine imbalance, they go, all the cytokines telling the other cells, okay, something is going on, something is going on, so we need to react, and we really need to do something. And then it's when the inflammation comes, and then is when the redness comes, and the reaction of the skin with the sensitivity. So our goal basically is always to calm the immune cascade before rebuilding the barrier. So we need to focus first on what is going on, what is causing that stress. Is it something inside of us? And then, like this client that I'm telling you. So, what should we do? Like, how can you help yourself to be a little bit less stressed, so that way your skin will go better? And that's what I told her. I said, okay, what are you doing to release that stress? Are you doing something? Are you meditating? Are you exercising? Are you journaling? I mean, you need to do something, because it doesn't matter what I put on your skin right now. If you're continue under that stress and not helping yourself, then it doesn't matter, what product you put on, it's going to continue reacting. So you really need to tell your clients to focus in, what is causing it. Of course, as Kristen was saying before, if you're sensitive, it's something that it's genetic, then you are aware of that. And I think when you live with that, you learn how to live with it. Okay. But when it's something because of the stress, or because of the a lot of things that you put on your skin, and overdoing it, then it's something that you can definitely do something about.
Yes, absolutely. Sorry, my dogs are going crazy right now.
It's okay. So the barrier impairment explained, basically what we were talking about. If the skin is under a lot of stress, it is having a reaction of sensitivity or something. The barrier, when it's damaged, it leads to the transepidermal water loss. And what does it happen with, when we have an impaired barrier? Well, allows irritants to get in and microbes to enter more easily. So that's why it's super important to have our skin barrier, and focus first on, if it's compromised, to build it up again, instead of just doing more things. So healing the barrier is reducing the sensitivity, plus supporting the microbiome balance. So that will need to be also our main goal. In our next slide, we actually have a very nice diagram, like explaining the barrier impairment, how it works, the healthy one versus the damaged skin barrier. This is great because it looks how the healthy skin barrier, it shows how strong lipid layer is, the locking of the moisture. And, to lock the moisture, you definitely need to have your lipids like very nice and strong, and protects again irritants. When you have the damaged skin barrier, then it is basically because of also the lipids not being weak, I guess, and loss of moisture. You can see a lot of that, and increased irritation and redness. That's when you have a client and you put something that you really think it's gonna heal, and then forget it. It gets more red, and it's because of the skin barrier has been damaged.
And I do want to kind of add on to this image. I kind of explained this in the second episode of our podcast, where Think of your skin cells as the bricks, right? And then you have your lipids, your ceramides, and all of that. That's the mortar. So that's what's holding everything together. And a lot of
Mhm.
times when clients tend to overexfoliate, sometimes there's harsh weather, harsh winds, that barrier can break down throughout the day and over time. And then you have that weakened lipid barrier and loss of moisture, increased irritation and redness. So that's how I like to explain that to clients in a more visual perspective. So I just want to add that there. I feel like Tina, I know you said you wanted the slides, which I think would be for sure helpful. Um, but really talking to clients with analogies. Using those analogies is going to be helpful for them to really visualize things because if you're like lipid this, ceramides this, ceramides that,
Mhm.
they get kind of confused because they don't know the terminology like we do. So I think it's good to kind of break things down in a very short but sweet kind of way. So, yeah.
Yes, for sure.
And then client consultation essentials. So when you're meeting with your client, maybe even for the first time, it is important to do that client consultation. So you want to ask, how long has the skin felt reactive? Especially if they put on their intake form, which I hope you guys have intake forms. If they put that their skin is feeling a little bit sensitive, these are some of the questions that you can ask them. So how long has skin felt reactive? What triggers your flare-ups? So when my clients put that they have sensitive skin or they suffer from rosacea, I typically ask them, what is your flare-up? Do you feel a lot more sensitivity or redness when you eat spicy foods or when you're out in the sun a lot or exposed to the weather? So everybody's so different. Not everyone is going to react to different things. And then you want to observe the skin. So when you're analyzing the client's skin, even when you're just talking to them, look for any kind of redness, flaking, any kind of visible capillaries or heat response, especially when you're doing that first cleanse, you can kind of feel that heat releasing from their face, which is unfortunately just very uncomfortable for them. So, of course, using Hail and Hush is going to help to really calm down that heat and inflammation. And then you want to record it. So, in your notes, write down any lifestyle, medications, or product history that they may use, and avoid assumptions. Not all redness equals sensitivity. And Tatiana actually made an Instagram video about this. So, do you have any tips on what that means? Because a lot of people think when someone's red, it means you're sensitive. So,
Yeah, but it is not. I mean, sometimes it's just as we were saying, is genetic. I remember seeing a client for so long, always with the red cheeks. And it's just, something that it's genetics. It's not really rosacea. It's not really sensitive. It's just the way she is, basically. So not always is. It could be also for something that it's irritating when we come to the time of allergies. I see a lot of my clients with redness, irritation in their skin, but it's only for a period of time. So, and I was actually going to add something to the client consultation, that I know sometimes we could be extensive in the questions, but I always ask as many questions as I can, because the more I know about my client, the better will be my facial and customize my facial. And even they say, no, I'm not taking any medication. Okay, are you taking any supplements? Because it's also something that could be affecting the skin. And something super important, even though I see my clients like every 4 to 6 weeks, always I have another consultation, or not consultation, but a page that I always ask, did anything change? Not only for medications, but did something happen in your life? Because again, we're talking about the stress. So maybe somebody, had a loss in the family, How are you reacting to that? Are you stressed? Are you depressed? I mean, all of that, believe it or not, will affect the skin and will also affect the way you treat that client in that moment. So that is super important for the consultation.
Very well said. I mean, everything she just said, is just that's how you want to approach these things, and continued consent is definitely recommended. So making sure that I have my clients update me every time, obviously, but especially during or after 3 or 6 months have passed, because a
Mhm.
lot can change in 3 to 6 months.
Yeah,
So
of course.
definitely want to be hitting those milestones and making sure that your client is updating you with everything.
Yeah. And Tina says that I do get a lot of people that are getting diagnosed with rosacea. That is so true. And I don't know why, but no, derms, even though they don't have enough of the symptoms except a slight flush of the cheeks. Yeah, that is definitely. And when you start being like me as a holistic esthetician and thinking of all the different certifications that I have that I don't really announce, but I do have in my bag. Some, when you see a client, the face, it could be related, like the cheeks could be related to the breast. Is there something going on there? It could be related to the kidneys. Maybe it's not rosacea. Maybe it's something going on with the kidneys. So it really depends, and that's why I'm saying like redness not always, it means that it's sensitive. It could be something going on in that moment, but you can treat it. Of course, you are the only one that will know if it's really sensitive or not, or sensitized, or if there is some stress, or if there is anything else going on. Once you have your consultation, the intake form completed, and once you see the skin under the loop, then is when you say, okay, yes, I can treat it like a rosacea, or yeah, maybe she was diagnosed with that, but I don't see enough redness, and you know better, I guess. Oh, sorry, I was just talking about Tina just said, and their barrier was compromised, and they were prescribed Metrogel, just made it worse. Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So in treatment approach, you want to step one, assess the client's condition. Avoid exfoliation or any kind of excess stimulation. Of course, when you're working on the client, there may be some stimulation involved because you are circulating blood and you're massaging the skin. So try to avoid too much massage. And then you want to focus on hydration and barrier restoration, just basically rebuilding everything that has happened. And then step three, use calming anti-inflammatory ingredients, Hale and Hush, and support lymphatic drainage and nervous system relaxation. So we do have some protocols. I'll give you a minute to scan this QR code, but the protocols, that's what we have right now. We're constantly updating them, but this is going to really help you determine the skin type and then what protocol to use afterwards.
Yes, and just to add about that, um, eh, before Kristen, go back once, please. that okay, that we said we were talking about not having a lot of stimulation, and that is because when you also get, even though if it's redness because of the circulation, because of the capillaries, because of everything, you know that you don't need to really do a lot of affleurage or anything like that that will warm up more the skin, and that's the main reason why we try to avoid any, like, a lot of stimulation. Then here is when gua sha or a roller or even the mushrooms will be really good to do. So that is my 3 cents in there. So for the key ingredients for sensitivity, you know that all our products, they do have an ingredient to help with any sensitivity, with any redness, with the inflammation. But things that are like more of focus in that, it's the mirabilis jalapa extract or 4 o'clock flower that soothes and normalizes the skin, the squalane, that restore lipids and softness. So that will definitely help with the skin barrier. The Pinus sembra wood extract is the Swiss stone pine that calms skin hypersensitivity and reduces local redness and color irregularities. That one, I don't know how to pronounce it, Kristen. So I'm going to say meadow foam seed oil that locks in the moisture. And the turmeric, the root extract, of course, that it reduces the redness and inflammation. That is like super good, not only for the skin, for the body, for everything. Then the products pairing for sensitive skin type. This is basically the sensitive that will my clients will start when I see that they have very sensitive skin. It's the quiet wash for sure to cleanse, and that's something that I gave to my client that I was telling you before with the eczema. Then you have the Soothe Essence serum, that it's gonna help you with the hydration. Okay, the Rare C serum, depending on the skin barrier, it depends how compromised it is. If it's just sensitivity, then normally most of my clients are fine with the Rare C serum. But it also depends on what you see that day, okay, in your clients. The Vital Lipid Lotion or the Hash Hydrate are my ways to go also as a moisturizer. And even sometimes the saffron will also be super good. The sensitized skin, meaning that there is some over exfoliation, something going on. There is something that we need to first calm, and then we can come back to more exfoliation. We use the quiet wash plus the Soothe Essence serum again. That will help with the hydration, and the Relief Bio powder mixed with the Hash Hydrate gel is something that is a must. Again, my client, she said the only thing and the way we started to calm the skin was with the quiet wash, with the Soothe Essence, and the Hash Hydrate with the Relief Bio powder. And since then, it looks like she always has that in hand to, if anything happens to her. And distressed, again, quiet wash, Soothe Essence serum, the Brilliant Eye and Lip serum. It will be definitely super nice and good. On her lips, it looks amazing. She said that she asked me, "What did you put on my lips?" Because it is so nice and hydrated. So that's something that you can do. And the Saffron Meristem cream, again, it's our amazing moisturizer. It was my favorite before the our hydromelon. That now it's my favorite. But Kristen was actually going to tell us about the printable cheat sheets that we are coming soon. She has seen them. I haven't. So tell us, please.
Yeah, I mean, they are what they sound like. They are cheat sheets. So they're going to have different skin conditions and skin types. It's gonna basically detail what types of symptoms the client might be experiencing. It's going to detail what products we would recommend and how to go about them step by step. But just remember that these are cheat sheets, these are guidelines. You can always adjust or modify based off your client's skin and what you're seeing right then and there, and of course, what you want to do for their treatment plan. So, they look really good. I am so excited for these actually. And they're just additional resources for you guys to look at.
Yeah, we didn't see, but she was telling us about a client that she had. Uh, she came in to see me, first time client, flushed cheeks, T-zone, warm to the touch. Her meds form didn't list it, but upon talking to her, stated that her mom used to have rosacea, explained how it is common in women, runs in families, and does not go away, but we can help get into remission. Lots of soft lymph massage, so remedy rehab oil. Yeah, definitely. Great, Shirley. And Lynn was asking, what about hydromelon? Yes, hydromelon is another one that you can use. It's amazing. It is really hydrating. It is, in my opinion, and maybe I'm wrong, but for me, it is not as heavy as the saffron, like, the thickness of it. So it goes very nice and smooth. I love it. So you can definitely use it for sure. I mean, all of our moisturizers, you can use them with no problem. And something that I discovered is somebody told me before about the hash hydrate gel being a great primer. And I can tell you the hydromelon. I normally don't put any makeup on. I just put my sunblock, tinted sunblock. And 2 days ago, I needed to go to a funeral service, and I put some makeup on. And I was impressed how nice it was as a primer, the hydromelon. I'm like, oh my God, everything went so nice and smooth. And I used mineral makeup. So, it was definitely great. This just something that I wanted to share with you girls.
Okay, I may need to try that.
Amina.
Tip.
Yeah, sorry, Kristen. Amina's asking, can the refined polish benefit stressed skin? Yes, definitely it can. What I will do, and I don't know your opinion, Kristen, but what I would do is I will mix it with the quiet wash, and then you can do it. For my cancer patients, sometimes depending on their stage and how the skin barrier is, I do exfoliate with a little bit, mixing the quiet wash with a little bit of the my goodness, of our scrub, the polish. My gosh, I'm like sorry, with the refined polish a little bit. So you know that when you mix it with the quiet wash, you can use it more often than if you use it by itself. So when you use the refined polish by itself, it's just going to be like 2 times or 3 times a week. But when you mix it with the quiet wash, you can even use it. Depending on the skin barrier, you can use it every day.
Um,
Okay. I think we don't have any more questions.
no more questions?
Now I was just looking at that.
Mhm.
And has more clear. Yes. Okay. Tina is telling us that she blends a pump of hash hydrate and 2 pumps of hydromelon.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah, so something
Okay.
we're also working towards is having a customization webinar. So that'll be a great one in the future to attend when we talk about some of our favorite customizations. So, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like a little cocktail
Yeah.
menu. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Sorry, Kristen. Go ahead.
It's okay. Well, this is our best-selling trifecta kit. If you're new to Hale and Hush, this is your go-to whenever you see any compromised skin. So if your client is experiencing any kind of irritation, any redness, any itching, this is going to be your go-to. This is what I recommend having the client start with for at least 2 to 3 weeks to rebuild that skin barrier, and then you can move on, adjust their routine, and do more treatments for them. So, um, Shorn Rapar asked, is hydromelon safe to use for cancer patients? Yes.
As far as
Our,
I know, yes,
mhm.
it
Our,
is.
our products are mindful to those with cancer. There are some products that we don't recommend. It's the same as what we wouldn't recommend for any pregnant or nursing women, but yeah, it is good to use. And then when it comes to holistic support for sensitive skin, I think a lot of us on the team have a very holistic approach to treating skin.
Yeah.
So, w- basically, holistic means a whole body approach. So, not just working on the skin, but also addressing your diet, your lifestyle. So, with nutrition, omega-3s are recommended for sensitive and even acne-prone skin. Of course, the client will have to contact their doctor if that is safe to take and use with whatever medications they're on. But omega-3s are really hydrating. They actually help with your heart health, your liver health, and they're also anti-inflammatory. So that's why they're so great. And then you want to focus on hydration. Are your clients drinking a good amount of water daily? Are they hydrated? Because dehydration, a lot of those symptoms are very scary and they can definitely affect the skin. And then their antioxidant intake. Are they eating a lot of blueberries, a lot of fruits, a lot of different vegetables to take in their micronutrients? So these are just some things to kind of talk about on the surface level. But if nutrition really is a big impact, I always refer out to a nutritionist or even just their primary care provider, because then they can refer them to the right people. And then stress management. So, of course, sleep. Sleep is super important. Our body is healing while we're sleeping. So, when your client is only getting 4 to 5 hours of sleep, like my husband, which I keep telling him not to, it's really going to affect your body in the long run. Even in the short run, too. I mean, when you don't get enough sleep, you're irritable, you're not functioning properly, you have a lot of brain fog. So, sleep is very important. Mindfulness, gentle massage techniques. So, mindfulness being like understanding when you're stressed and how you can kind of bring yourself back to baseline. So, a lot of times when I'm stressed, breath work really helps, stretching, yoga. It doesn't have to be like this crazy thing to manage stress. A lot of times it could just be stepping out every 30 minutes, enjoying nature, or just sitting, breathing. So, stress is yes, same, Shirley. The gym is my stress relief. I love working out. That is a really good way to obviously stay physically fit, but also to lower stress. And then gentle massage techniques. Honestly, when I'm doing my nighttime routine, I'm like massaging myself. I'm giving myself a little facial. So those are like some little tips and tricks that you can share with your clients, even on social media. So like if you are really good with like content creation, you could do here are 3 tips on how to give yourself a little massage while you're doing your skincare routine at home. So little things like that you can always express and educate your clients with. And then your environment. So I know it's been winter time, so a lot of us are turning that heat up, but that can really dehydrate the skin. Same with hot water. So incorporating more humidifiers into your house or just washing your body or taking a shower in lukewarm to warm temperature is going to be really helpful, but that scalding hot water that can also cause a lot of sensitivity for clients. So,
Yeah, if I may say, also for what you're saying, yes, definitely clients that they have skin barrier compromise, there is no way you're gonna put a hot towel on top, on their skin. It has to be cold. Of course, it cannot be freezing cold because then they're gonna jump out of your table. But you definitely need to have, to ask, to get a warm, only like little bit hot towel on the skin and to ask them not to wash their skin at night with hot water because a lot of people, and even though I'm here in Florida, a lot of people love to wash their face with hot water. And it's like, no, your skin is already compromised. Don't, add more irritants to the skin. And about the stress management, there is something what Kristen was saying about the massage, the face massage. Yes, but remember to be mindful. It doesn't matter if you have the super duper technique of massage, face massage. The only fact that you're breathing and you're touching your skin, you are just being calm, releasing all the stress. That's enough. It's just to be in the moment. When I'm stressed, I'm like Amber and like Tina. I also like to walk. But if I cannot walk, I just need to sit and breathe, just for a minute. I don't have my Apple Watch anymore because I gave it to my son. But before when I had it, I had something in my watch that will remind me to breathe because we are in such a hurry every day that we actually forget how to breathe. And we're just, we're not even breathing. So that will definitely help us to be more mindful, to be present, to release a little bit of the stress and be, just be here in the moment. And again, that will definitely help. And that is something that you can also tell your clients to release all the stress. Be grounded just before you start facial. Ground yourself. That will help, to give a better facial to your client. It will be, the client will feel it, especially when you breathe. And I always start my facials with a breathing exercise with them. So that will start, the whole relaxation time for them.
Yes, I love that. And um, I know a few of my esthetician friends that they don't even have the client come in and immediately start the facial. It's a process.
Mm-hmm.
They come in,
Mm-hmm.
they undress, they give them some tea. They're really setting that environment and that vibe for them to just relax. And
Yep.
you can have your clients incorporate that at home too. So like Tatiana said, we're always so busy. We're just busy bees. We want to move on to the next thing, but doing things again with intention and just, okay, I'm about to do my skincare routine. I'm gonna slowly put my hair, just take your time with it.
And sometimes I even add tea.
Yeah.
It's so funny because when the night comes, my husband knows that when I get into the bathroom, it's like, okay, good night, because I stay there like for half an hour. But it's because it's my time to decompress. So, if I can put a soothing music, I will. If I'm in the mood for a candle, because sometimes I'm a little bit, since I don't have any perfume or anything because of my cancer patients. So sometimes I'm not reactive, but I get tired of this smell like right away. But if I have, a nice little candle, I will do it. And then I just do, every night I do something different. I do my capping, I do my gua sha, I do, some other things that will help me just to decompress from the day.
Mm. And so, as far as professional treatments go, when you're doing just a basic protocol, you want to, of course, do a gentle cleanse. So you can use Quiet Wash as your first and second cleanse, or you can also do Quiet Wash or Refine Polish as your second cleanse. So depending on the client's skin, this is the general guideline that you would do. And then a lot of times with my sensitive skin clients, I try not to do a lot of extractions. I kind of let the products do the work, especially when they go home. So you could jump into a soothing mask of Relief Bio Powder mixed with Hush Hydrate Gel, and then sometimes I'll even add LED in there if necessary. And then you want to focus on barrier recovery. So Soothe Essence Serum, Phytolipid Lotion, or moisturizer of your choice. and then finish up with protection. So making sure that they walk out of there with sunscreen always, especially during the day. So this is just your basic protocol and treatment
Yeah.
that we recommend for sensitive skin. But again, everything is customizable to them.
And we do have different protocols, just so you know. We have it in our webpage. Um, and you can adjust it as needed. This is just, something, one of the sensitive skin protocol. But just remember that it all depends on the skin barrier of your client, what they are going through. But if they are sensitive, but their skin barrier is okay, then you can use the incredible enzyme. But don't leave it for 5 minutes. Just leave it for a minute or two. That will be enough. That will do, the magic also. So you can also do that. The important thing is that don't use actives. That is one of the things that when the skin is compromised, you don't use any actives. So no retinol, not rare C serum, rare mandelic serum, any of those, no bedazzle revitalize. And depending, you can use, as I was saying, the incredible enzyme or maybe not. So it really depends. But this is just, as Kristen was saying, only one of our protocols that we have that you can definitely change. The same thing with the step 4. I think, Kristen, you also said it, right? That you can change the moisturizer. You can well, the Sooth Essence is something that I put on pretty much everybody. So, but with the moisturizers, you can definitely do it. And somebody before, and I forgot I was going to answer that question, and I didn't do it. Somebody asked, I don't know if it was Tina, about the hash hydrate, if it wasn't moisturizing enough, if you could use the Vital Lipid Lotion. Of course you can. Now, I have seen that some people, when their skin barrier is compromised, it starts like stinging for some reason, but then that is because it's also the Vital Lipid Lotion will help to rebuild that skin barrier. So the goal, if that happens, you can tell the client, okay, start with the Vital Lipid Lotion, but don't use it like every day. Use it every other day or every 2 days. But the goal is to use it every day because it's going to help you to repair your skin barrier. So that's the main thing. Or you can also do the hash hydrate and then put on top the remedy rehab oil. So that will like seal the moisture there. So that's another thing that you can also do.
Mm,
You can pat the hash hydrate over an application of hash hydrate to give it a little extra. Yeah, you can do that for sure. Treatment tips for sensitive clients. Again, to have a thorough consultation, what we were saying before, continue with the consent, make sure that nothing has changed since the last time you saw the client. If you are not sure if that person is going to be reactive to any of our products, just do a patch test. Best part to do it is over here. Or you can do it in the back of the ear, or even, in around, like in your muñeca. Now I don't know how to say it, in wrist in English. You can do that. You can also avoid the steam and aggressive exfoliation. That is for sure. I don't use any steam. I only use hot towels. The steam is out of my room since, I don't know, the second year after I finished my school. Then I realized it's like, okay, this is definitely, not necessary. Some people still believe that the steamer is going to help them. It just feels nice on the client. But, my clients, they already know that I don't use steam. Um, but sorry, focus on cooling and soothing and hydrating. That is the most important thing for sensitive skin clients, on soothing, calming, as Shirley was saying with her client, warm to the touch. So we want to cool the skin down. Anything else, Kristen?
No, I agree with you. I stopped using steam after maybe about a year of having it in my treatment room.
Uh-huh.
And it's because I really started seeing a lot more acne and sensitive skin clients, and the steam just aggravated their skin a lot more, and I would have to do a lot more corrective work during the facial. So hot towel is going to help a lot. And then, I mean, if your client's skin is fine, they don't have any kind of flare-ups or any kind of compromised skin barrier, totally fine to use. But I personally have also avoided steam for a very long
Hmm.
time. And
Yeah.
I've also found my clients don't really ask for it anymore.
No,
Yeah.
they don't. They
Yeah.
don't. I don't know if they know me, but not even the new clients. They have never asked me like, why don't you have a steam
Right.
or a steamer? Like, no, they don't care.
Yvonne said, how about cool steam instead? I actually didn't know that's a thing. Can someone speak about that a little bit more? I've always heard of hot steam, but cool steam I actually have never heard of.
No, me either. Um, I don't know why. I think I heard before. I don't know. It just I for me, it's just having something, like air in the skin. And if we let's do a little theory here. Okay. So if you are in cold weather, your skin also try to dehydrate. So if you have cool air in your skin, I don't know if, that would be also beneficial for the skin. My thoughts. I don't know. Not sure.
Well,
But it would be good
I think
to.
it would be a better option than the hot steam for sure. Yvonne said
Mhm.
hers has an option for hot and cool. So, very interesting. I actually learned something new
Yeah.
today.
Uh-huh. I thought you could help to cool it down a little. You know what
Oh,
really helps to cool down? If you have a cold hammer, I think is what it's called, or like I have a hydrodermabrasion machine that has a cold therapy. So I use that cold thing like a lot of times. Or I have a little refrigerator where I have my gloves and the globes I should say. So those are very cold. And even I remember using my roller with this client, the eczema client, and she was amazed because we calmed the skin over the hash hydrate with the relief bio powder. And then I started doing very slowly the roller. And I also, even though it's stainless steel, so normally it's cold, but I still keep them, yeah, like keep my tools in the refrigerator because of this reason. So when I took it out and I was going all over her face, it was very nice and cooling for her. So that's something else that I think I'd rather go with the cold tools than with the cold steam if you want to cool down the skin. My thoughts. Yeah, the oxygen mister is also a good one, Kim.
I love that too, just because you could put whatever serums in there and then
Or the
you,
Miss Me or
yeah,
the Fresh
like Miss
Breeze.
C. Yeah.
Those are amazing.
I'll put Soothe Essence in there, and then that's it. Just makes also like application a lot easier.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Um,
What
I
Mister?
oh sorry, go ahead.
No, no, no. Go ahead.
Well, mine was attached to my hydro machine, but I know I'm sure there's some standalone ones that you can purchase.
Yes, I know Zane, I believe they do have one, or I think it was Zane, but mine is from Zach.
Have fun with your client, Amber.
Oh, bye, Amber. You can see the replay or whatever you missed next month in the YouTube channel. Go, Kristen.
Okay, so with education, I think it's, obviously it's important for us to learn all these things, but it's important too that you educate your client as well. So educate your clients that healing sensitivity does take time. I know a lot of clients, I've also discussed this in the podcast, that people want more, more, more. They want instant results, but that's just unfortunately not how it works. You may get some instant results, but you want to focus on longevity, on long-term strategy. So again, use analogies. You wouldn't train on a sprained ankle. Same goes for your skin. You gotta give your body and your skin some time to heal. And then encourage consistency and simplicity in your home care. So a lot of times clients do get overwhelmed with a seven-step routine. So if you could literally cut it down to 3 or 4 products, that's going to allow your clients to be a lot more consistent. And then educate your clients on avoiding common irritants and overuse of actives. A lot of times clients are just guessing, right? Say they go into CVS and, there's a whole aisle of different things. They're not really sure what to grab. So they're just kind of grabbing what sounds nice to them. But it's important for you when they start working with you to tell them, these are just some of the things that I want you to be mindful about. And this is how certain actives can affect the skin over time, especially if you overuse them.
Yes. Something that I always ask my clients is like, are you used to a skincare routine? Because sometimes they are not. And if you give them seven things to use, they won't use one. They get overwhelmed with everything. So when they say no, I start with a cleanser. I start with the Soothe Essence and then a moisturizer and the sunblock, of course. And on top, I write this is one, this is two, this is three. So they know the order it goes. Because otherwise, I mean, if they have just, three things and they can, and I, because they also want more. And I said, if you are not used to have so many things in your skincare routine, you're get overwhelmed and you're not going to do anything. So let's start with these three: cleanser, hydration, the moisturizer, and then we can go next. So that's the best way to do it. And yes, Shirley, they do know, they think they know what skin type they are and what they are dealing with.
Yeah, and I
Yes,
also,
Amina. I'm sorry.
oh, sorry. Um,
Now
well,
that
I
I was
was
gonna answer the question, yes, with the trifecta, that's an and that reminds me of another question that we had, Kristen, about the trifecta. Yes, I started with the quiet wash, with the relief bio powder, and with the hash hydrate. If somebody asks if you can change the hash hydrate for I think it was the Vital Lipid Lotion, you can, but the price and the package that we have, the bundle that we have, it's only the quiet wash, the hash hydrate, and the relief bio powder.
Yeah, I mean, that's the trifecta, right?
Hmm.
You gotta start with that sometimes. And um definitely listen to your clients. I know like sometimes we kind of have a routine and it's like, okay, consultation, do the facial, finishing products, stuff like that. Actually listen to them, and like if they have a little comment like, oh yeah, I've used benzoyl peroxide before and I just my skin couldn't handle it, or I've used salicylic acid before and my skin didn't like it. It's probably not that their skin didn't like it, it's just they were overusing it. So that's a good way to really have an educational talk with them and say, well, it's probably because salicylic, tends to do this. And then it's just a good way to kind of start that conversation with them. And then it makes you the trusted expert. And then they're like, oh, yeah, she knows a lot. I'm going to keep coming to her. And so that's how education can also lead into a loyal and lifelong client.
No, I was just asking Amina about the question. So, additional resources, and I'm just going to go a little bit faster because it's already 1:02.
Mhm.
Where, feel free to scan this QR code. So, you will find additional resources that we have, the website, of course, where you can find everything, all the protocols, data sheets, education, everything. It's over there. In the Airtable, you will also get a lot of information for the monthly facial. You will have also information for the pictures of the products, the what else? Data sheets. Kristen, I'm running out of ideas of what else do we have in the Airtable. We have the monthly facial. We have also the quarterly content for your social media as well, right?
We also have pictures of all of our products. So if you love doing content creation, you love making things on Canva, any kind of graphics, you have the products there to download, and then you can
Mhm.
make cute little graphics with that.
Yes, our Facebook Pro group, you need to look for us as Helen Hash Pros. You will need to answer all the questions in order to be allowed to get into the group. It's a great place to be, great place to ask questions, to see what other estheticians are doing with you see before and afters from other estheticians. So it is a great place to be. Our Instagram, hopefully you are following us on Instagram. You can repost things that we have. At the same time, if you tag us, we will also share it in our story. Our YouTube channel, where you can also find a lot of information. And next month, if for some reason you couldn't finish look, seeing these live, or for the other ones that missed this webinar, they will be able to see it in our YouTube. All of our free webinars are in the YouTube channel. Okay. And the podcast, Miss Kristen, talk about your podcast.
Yeah, I mean, we collaborate and just have guests on there from a lot of industry experts and leaders that use Hale and Hush. So they have a lot of experience with our line. And we just kind of talk about whatever related to sensitive skin. So this month we're talking about what is sensitive skin. In April, we're going to be talking about seasonal sensitivities and allergic reactions when the seasons and the weather changes. And then in May, we're going to be talking about tools that you can use for sensitive skin. So lots of free education there as well if you're more of an audio listener. But scan that QR code because we give you guys so much free additional resources and education. Like, um, I remember when I first started out with Hale and Hush, I was given so much that I would just sit down and learn and learn and learn. And it's made me a better esthetician having access to all of these resources.
Great. Then the next slide,
So yep,
we just
there's the podcast. And then Dr. Erin Madigan Fleck, she has a few upcoming webinars. April 2nd is going to be about rescuing rosacea sensitivity, and June 23rd is about procedural skin assessment and navigating skin signs and signals.
yep. And the next slide will tell you also our classes, Kristen.
Yes, so these are all of the classes and events. We'll be at a few trade shows as well this year. So you guys can definitely take a picture of this, or if you head to our events tab on our website, you'll also find all of these events on there. So the ones coming up are going to be March 22nd. We have Men's Skin Solutions. So this is going to be class on how to calm, correct, and prevent shaving-related irritation, which is actually a common question that I see a lot. So I think this is going to be a great webinar, especially if you treat a
Hmm.
lot of gentlemen in your
Yeah,
treatment room. We also have the ASCP Summit. I believe Melissa is teaching that, or going to be featured in there. And then in April 13th and 14th, we'll be at ICES, Philadelphia. I think
Yeah.
Tatiana and Melissa will be there.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
18th through the 20th of April, we have ABS Chicago at Rosemont. And then April 16th, we're having a webinar about spring detox for sensitive skin. So managing seasonal reactions without over exfoliating with Allison Marks. And then April 20th is our next product knowledge class. So highly recommend if you're new to
Hi,
Halo
Melissa. Mm-hmm.
attending our product knowledge class because we'll go into detail about every single product that we have, our core values as a company, and how Hale and Hush can be used in your space. And then April 27th, we have body treatments from head to toe.
Yeah. And as Charity and Elisa were saying, if you want to learn a little bit before the product knowledge class, we also have the 45 minutes complimentary calls that you can schedule. And if you're lucky, you will get me. We're all educators. We are not reps. That's something that people sometimes they get confused. And we are not reps. We're educators. So we are all here to help you. Promo time, Kristen.
Okay, so for all three sizes of Quiet Wash, you will get 20% off. So from now until 3/27th, use the code QUIET20. Um, I
It
think you
is,
have to mention the code. You can't put it
yes,
into the little code bar at checkout. So in the notes section, just put QUIET20, or if you call into the office, just tell them the code, and then the
yes.
discount will be applied.
But it is super important. You need to put the quiet 20, the code, in order to get your discount. If you don't put it there, or if you don't call the office and let them know about this webinar and about the code, you won't get your discount. Okay. So make sure to write down the quiet 20 in your notes if you're placing the order online.
All right. Oh, there you go, the 20% off. And then this is our info.
This is us. Miss Melissa was also here. And Chris, of course, you know her. She is the owner of Helen Hash, amazing woman that will help you in any way she can. Same with Kristen, with me, and of course, Melissa. We are all here to help you. So don't know if you have any more questions. We apologize. We run 10 minutes over 1 o'clock. So sorry, but let us know if you have any questions. Oh, thank you, ladies. Thank you. Oh, Nicole was also here. Okay. Thank you, Tina. Okay, well, thank you, everybody. I guess if you don't have more questions, um, we will see you soon, I hope. Okay.
All right. See you guys.
Already. Bye. Have an amazing day and good luck, Kristen,
Bye. Thank
with your move.
you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.